Welcome, all you amazing souls, to your Aries new moon reading. And of course, we have a beautiful picture here of the Aries new moon, which it says in the bottom, go for it. And this card that comes from this beautiful deck, the Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. And I do list all the cards I use in a reading in the description box below. If you're like me, I see so many beautiful decks out there, and I'm like, I want that for myself. So I have over 100 Oracle decks and over 20 tarot decks, and I'm okay with that. So if you want any of those are in the description box below with links over to Amazon. So I love that. Of course, the Aries new moon is bringing this beautiful, just tons of opportunities. So opportunities abound. You know, we get to step through those opening doors that are going to be coming around for us around this Aries new moon. So the energy encourages us to have courage, to step towards our dreams, to chase those dreams like with a little childlike enthusiasm, and know that they'll be satisfied. There's really this energy of less planning and more action, right? So we don't want to spend all of our energy on the planning stage. It's like, make some plans, but focus on action around this new moon. Use that energy that's available for us to do that. And, you know, believe that there's divine timing that's coming in for things too. You know, make the plans, put action, but for the results, don't focus on the results. Focus on the energy you're putting into the moment, into that current action. And as a little kind of ritual or a little action that you want to do, you can light a candle, because Aries, of course, is fire sign. Got all the candles going here too. You know, light a candle and put your hands over your heart and just affirm, I am on the right track. And then for this reading, we're going to ask, where can I take more action in my life? You know, is that towards my dream, or what advice can we get from the Creator and Spirit around where can we put more action into our lives? So we're going to jump into the reading specific to your sign right now. All right, all you Geminis, this is your Aries new moon reading, and we're going to start off pulling a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle, just to see what advice the Creator has where you could take more action in your life. It is advice. You never have to take it, right? All right, one more time here. All right, so for our Geminis, what would you like them to know? Where could they? All right, take more action in their life. And you have the Not For You. Card number 6. I'm just going to put that right here. And let's see what energy comes with this card in regards to where could you take more action. It says a clear knowing that something is being denied you. And it says rejection is God's protection. There are times when it appears that no matter how deeply you desire something, no matter how hard you work at something, the result you seek always seems to elude you. It's as if you don't really get to be in the game and you feel you're just watching from the sidelines. The appearance of this card indicates that you are not going to attain what you want right now, that indeed your dreams for that exact thing will not be fulfilled. This is a time to radically accept that not everything is available to you when you want it. Take heart, for there are benevolent forces who desire the best for you and have a much clearer idea of what is for your highest good. Rejection is God's protection. Something much better that will make you truly happy is on its way. Trust this. I know we don't like to hear that. I am hearing that, you know, country song in my mind from many years ago. Thank God for unanswered prayers. And it is about, you know, stories in the song about, seeing the person that they wanted to be with, and seeing them, they ended up not with them, and they ended up with someone else. The other person ended up with someone else, and they saw what type of relationship it was, what type of person that person really was, and it did not match up to this fantasy in their mind of what it would be and who, what type of relationship they would have. So that was like, I thank God for unanswered prayers. So like it says, God's, protection can look like rejection, but I love this because they are saying that you could take more action in trusting that your path is unfolding always for your highest experience, no matter if you have tower moments where things are removed out of your life, or if certain situations are brought into your life. Just knowing that it is for you ultimately can help you accept it more and embrace it, rather than feel like a victim in it and that it's this horrible thing going on. Instead, you really have this great understanding that every event in your life is fated. It was actually chosen by your higher self. It's the story of the Wheel of Fortune too, which the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune card really interact well together, because the Wheel of Fortune says that before you came down here, your higher self, your soul, decided when it was going to come here, when it was going to leave. The beautiful avatar, the character that they were going to express this life through, which is you, and all the fated events they wanted to experience to know more about themselves and to have the experiences as a human, so they more fully understand who they are as a spirit, in this beautiful contrasting play there. So we'll see also here, we're going to pull cards from the Sun and Moon Tarot, and we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this, accepting that whatever has been in your life, is in your life, and is coming in your life is happening for you, always. Never a punishment, always for your highest experience, for your highest education and awareness. So, all right, so for our Geminis, what else would you like them to know? Okay, they do want that one. What else? And that one. What else? Okay, what else? Okay, any others? Okay, yep. And that one. Those two, okay. So let's start off with the ones that showed themselves here first. And we'll start off with the ones with the new moons on them. So you have the High Priestess, and this is beautiful because this is about your ability to connect to the higher realms, connect to the spirit world. And, she goes behind the veil that we can't see and goes into the unconscious, the subconscious, connects to, like I said, the higher realms, where she gets the information of why things are happening, the backstories, what's going on behind the scenes, below the surface. And so this is a great card because it is a calling for you to connect to your higher self, your spiritual self. So you can do that. And again, Geminis, you have this Aries new moon, and here's the new moon. So definitely around this new moon, it is the perfect time. It's the validation for you to do that. Because then you also, she really is about diving deep, and that involves like very much water signs. And you have the water suit cups, again, another new moon. But the Seven of Cups is like unsure of how you're supposed to feel in a situation. And this clarity that comes from this card is that you get to choose. The other kind of higher truth that I left out talking about the Wheel of Fortune card is that within each of those fated events that unfolds in your life, you still have the power in this existence here to choose what story you apply to whatever situation comes your way and what emotion you want to choose as you're going through that. And I know when they first told me that, I was like, well, it doesn't really feel like a choice. I feel like something happens and this is how I feel, and something happens and this is how I think what it means about me and others in the world. And they are very kind and compassionate when they teach, and so they were like, come here, sit down, dear. And they had me breathe and really slow down time. And they showed me that the reason I didn't feel like I was able to make a choice was because I was conditioned so much around a certain belief and around a certain emotions that I'm supposed to feel in a situation and it was reinforced so much, it became my habit and then my reaction. So the reaction is boom, 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 right? This happens, this is what I feel, this happens, this is what I think it means. But when they slowed down time and showed me the moment that my memory kicked in, my conditioning kicked in on, oh, that is supposed to mean that. I'm supposed to feel that. And they showed me that I could question those thoughts and those beliefs about what I'm supposed to feel and what it's supposed to mean and change that. And by golly, they were right. You do obtain this power to breathe and pause life when your reaction is kicking in, and you can make a different emotional choice and a different mental choice about what story you're going to apply to it. Yep, and then you have the Four of Wands. This almost reminded me of the Wheel of Fortune. I thought it was the Wheel of Fortune at first, which the Four of Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your passion. It's also your spiritual energy, or the energy you're putting out and where you're focusing your energy. Fours are very solid numbers. It's like a table with four big legs on it. So it's about stability that it's bringing to your energy here when you realize that you can choose to be thankful for whatever comes into your life. So as those things come in, rather than it being throwing you into this helter-skelter, off your game, when you take that deep breath and, come back to the moment and focus on gratitude for what comes into your life, knowing that it is for your highest experience, it transforms that energy in your life. You no longer feel like you're doing back somersaults out in a hurricane. You feel like you're in the eye of the storm, where you're seeing the storm go on around you, but you feel this calmness that's happening within, like the circle in the middle of it. You do very well. They're actually showing me like a merry-go-round, when you go to a park and you go on the merry-go-round. If you're on the outside of the merry-go-round, you're whipping around and you feel like you're going to fly off and you're getting dizzy. But if you're standing in the middle and you just keep stepping, you can stay in the same place without much movement at all and not get dizzy as the world, as that merry-go-round spins. You're in the middle, it doesn't impact you. And that's what they're showing me. So that was interesting. And then you have the Five of Swords. So fives are about a change in perception on how you're seeing things. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindset, your attitudes, expectations, and so all these beliefs before on how things are supposed to be, what things are supposed to mean. This is about kind of a transformation in how you're perceiving your thoughts and beliefs. Usually, and you'll see I love this deck here, there's someone that's defeated, and they're not stabbed. It's just all those thoughts and beliefs have pinned them down, and this is the person that can be you, or it could be the person that does this to you. They try to prove to you that their small t truths of the human world, right, all those thoughts and beliefs that are spawned by fear, that their small t truths are more truer than your small t truths, or you're always in this, or not always, but you tend to get invited into these discussions of conflict about your small t truths are more truer than their small t truths. And so there is this, it says about defeat here. So when we're talking about, this things not coming and unfolding the way you thought they were supposed to be, this is that, it's almost, I feel like this is the battle you have with yourself, that you beat yourself up and judge yourself about, well, these things aren't coming to me because I'm not doing something right, or, I'm not putting enough effort in, and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But if you're doing your best, even that card said it, if you're doing your best and the results still aren't coming, then instead of beating yourself up about it and, stabbing yourself with these swords, allow yourself to feel the flow of life. And sometimes the best path in life is going with the flow of what's happening instead of trying to control things that are outside of your control, right? And then you have the Emperor. So speaking of controlling things outside of your control, the Emperor is very much about trying to control your life. And in this case, there's like two sides of an Emperor. And they want to talk about those two sides because the Emperor, you have the loving, loved Emperor who their only desire is for their kingdom and for having the people in their kingdom be successful. And he creates rules and laws and, all these kind of small t truths. They do these small t, laws and ordinances and everything with the motivation to bring people together, to have people be able to work alongside one another, to generate love within their kingdom so everyone gets along and that they're not, fighting amongst themselves and, leading to destruction. And so that's the loving Emperor. That's the beautiful side, which is really what the Creator does for us, right? But the other side of us, we have that little human child inside of us. And if we feel unsafe, or we feel out of control, when things aren't going our way and unfolding the way we think they should, our little human child inside of us gets activated. It goes into fight or flight mode, and it'll do whatever it can to get back to feeling safe, to get back to where they're feeling in control. And in fight or flight mode, they're not usually making emotionally mature, unconditionally loving decisions. They are out of their minds because when we go into fight or flight, the blood leaves our brain and it doesn't want us to stand around thinking and being emotionally responsive. It just wants us to be reactive so we can stay alive by fighting or running like hell, right? And so that loving Emperor, when it goes into fight or flight mode, transforms into a tyrant. It transforms into a dictator instead. So they're wanting to show you that there are these two choices, and that's basically the two choices that come up when your life is not unfolding the way you think it should, and you're not getting the results you think you should. You can respond by tuning into that unconditional love inside you, or enjoy the fight or flight mode. Yeah, and then you have the Six of Swords, and this makes total sense because, again, swords, thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, and this is just basically saying that you understand what's going on here, and there is this movement. I mean, this is the number 6, and you have the number 6 of Swords. This is the movement of old thoughts and beliefs to new thoughts and beliefs. So you're making movement within your belief system inside because of this new moon and this message that's coming up. So that is a great, something you should be proud of because it's like, okay, I get it. You're not resistant to this awareness. You're actually relieved. And there's this beautiful flow that comes from that. And then your final card is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant comes after the Emperor. It's number 4 and number 5. And it's the same story. But it's, instead of it being about a kingdom, it's basically about the two sides of a spiritual leader. And again, it has the loving spiritual leader who their intentions and their motivation is to spread love within their congregation, within their followers, whatever it might be, an organized religion or a belief system of some sort, that they want to ignite love within that because they know when they come together in love, they can spread love and make such a beautiful, loving impact on the world. But again, if the little child inside the spiritual leader gets activated and feels out of control or, feels unsafe, it will do whatever it needs to gain their control back, either by, trying to gain more control and take control from others and, whatever it might be, whatever action that it wants to take. So this loving spiritual leader then turns into a cult leader instead, right? Where their only desires are for their own safety, their own will, and their own control instead. So they're basically showing the two sides of both the physical world and the spiritual world, that we have that choice of choosing from the fear of fight or flight and feeling out of control and feeling unsafe. When things aren't working out the way we think they should, we can look into that and go, what am I really fearing? Do I fear that means something about me, or what people will think about me? Will I get rejected? Will I think I'm unlovable because I don't have that thing unfold? And as we grasp into the unconditional love that's within inside us instead, we can see that we can trust that everything is unfolding for us and life is not happening to us. We're not a victim of life. We are a victor of life. Instead, we're not on an out-of-control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode in a gorge. We're more of like on a beautiful, moving, smooth monorail that's connected to the tracks, like at Disney World or Disneyland, and it's just moving along, and there's a plan, and all the stops happen exactly in perfect timing. Because if we're going to trust God, if we're going to trust the creator of all things, we also trust their timing. Boom, right? Well, I love this for you. We're going to leave it here. If you are looking for additional messages of love from above, in addition to these new moon, and I also do full moon readings, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc., and a few other types of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those messages and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also click the subscribe button, and that'll give you access to this notification bell. When you go in there, just choose all, and you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, or you subscribe to a channel, the YouTube algorithm gets really excited and wants to share the videos of that channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am grateful. Also, these are general readings. If you're looking for even more specific information for your specific life, I do offer personal readings currently, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, Geminis, as you go throughout this beautiful new moon and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing new moon. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you hang in there and you take care.